Hey now, hey now, hey now. Welcome Patreons to the February update video thing, I guess. Because we're doing a bit of changes. If you haven't looked, we're seeing a little bit of changes. And if you're new, because this first one's going to be public, yeah, we're having a couple of changes on the Patreon. So, if you don't know, because it might have been, depending on where this gets uploaded, channel's been dead for quite a while, but if you don't know, we've got a team together. We're making a game, and don't worry, we'll get to that. Minecraft is just here to give you something to look at, as well as show something off in a minute. Is like, look at our alt tab. Oh, what's this? We'll ignore that for a moment. So basically, this is just going to be the new way that the monthly newsletters go out. The Patreon works now, because when I was doing all of the typing, like you could post a couple of screenshots, and it was like, oh yeah, you know, we're doing this, we're doing that. Here's a screenshot. Oh, look at this screenshot. Wow. And you could type up a bit of what's going on in your personal life, what's kind of going down, but it didn't really feel like anything special, if I'm gonna put it that way. You know, at least here where I'm talking to you, I can show things off, and I can express a little bit more. I can articulate certain things a little bit more to kind of show you like where the project is, where we're going, what we're planning to do. And you know, if this is the first one, I'm probably going to tell you that newsletters are, because we've been doing this for a while and this won't change, newsletters are going to have a slight paywall behind them, so it's typical YouTuber shilling. And if you want to see the full uncut reaction, subscribe to the Patreon. Except, you know, the Patreon version's also going to be edited, because when we go somewhere all the way over there, you're not going to see me just be like, oh, okay guys, here I go. Like, there is going to be a transition both here on YouTube and on Patreon as well. But yeah, so what we've been doing, let's talk, let's catch up for those that have been following the Patreon as both paid and free members. Let's catch up, because it's been 2 months. You know, we had a bit busy Christmas period. Everybody spending time with their family, so there was quite literally nothing to post in December, because it's Christmas time. I mean, if you don't celebrate Christmas, obviously there's also other holidays, but hope you had a nice Christmas, hope you're having a good new year, hope you're going to have a great year today. I feel like I'm going to have a great year today, or a great year this year, because we've got a lot of stuff to go through, so let's go through it. So first of all is the games, both games, because we are now in the process of making 2 games, and every once in a while you'll see me put up a GIF image on the screen. Again, if you're watching this on Twitch, because I am recording these, or I'm just streaming these to Twitch and getting the VOD after I'm done, then congratulations, you won't see anything. Because, you know, also personal stuff, as we go through these little Patreon videos, these little update videos, I will be talking a little bit about personal life, things going on, like my computer being old, because the reason why I'm streaming to Twitch and then just getting the VODs later, so if you're around on these early streams, or if you see it before I delete it, then hey, you got the sneak peek. But if you're not, well, then you missed it. But it's because my computer is getting quite old at this point, like really old. Because at one point, when Marvel Rivals came out, played quite a lot of Marvel Rivals across the Christmas period while everybody was just spending time with their families. I mean, I was too, but you know, across the course of the Christmas period where no work was being conducted, we played a bit of Marvel Rivals, and my computer was hating it. It was taking so long to load matches, and it was taking like 3 minutes just to even get into a game. The match was already over. And then I went to one of my technical friends, I was like, hey yo, why this taking so long? Is this like a programming issue? This is an optimization issue? What going on here? And he's like, what RAM you got? What graphics card you got? And I'm like, I got a 1080 Ti, I got this. And he's like, oh my god. Dude, Spyro, I do not know how your computer has quite literally not exploded when you're trying to boot up Marvel Rivals, because a 1080 Ti, that is trash tier now. That is like old trash tier shit. What the hell are you doing, buddy? So yeah, my computer is old. It needs new parts, and I am working on getting new parts. I have got some extra RAM, so that's coming. And probably, like, maybe a new graphics card. It's working fine for now, but obviously, given its age, it can also have a propensity to corrupt videos. So I'm just like, you know what, rather than having the video corrupt and then I've got to record it all again, I'll just upload it as a stream, because the stream could go on for 2 hours, and then I'll just download it later and I'll cut it up and then I'll put it on Patreon and YouTube, depending on what it is. Because if it's like a small update, because this is how we're going to break it down, if it's a small update, like, yo, one thing right there, then it's just going to be a normal public video that both you and the free Patreons can see. Or if it's a newsletter, like this one, where it's going to be quite a long one, it's going to be Patreon only. And the only reason that this first one is public, this February one is public, can't speak today, but the only reason this February one is public is because it's the very first one. You know, it's kind of like the advertisement thing, like, hey, we're doing this now, things have changed, so if you wanna swing by, you wanna see all of these, not just the very first one, then you might wanna consider $5. But that's for later, because again, I'm not expecting too many people to pay up. I'm not that big. I'm not a moist critical. But regardless, so we've got 2 games. You know, let's get in now that we've had a little personal time saying about Marvel Rivals and the state of my computer and the state of what's going on. Let's get into it. Let's get into what's been going down across Christmas and January and where we're at on both projects, because it's ended up being 2 projects. That is because basically my programmer is very skilled. Goo is absolutely fantastic. Goo is absolutely amazing, and they are very smart when it comes to programming. So they can make models and stuff in Blender more than I and my friend Crypto can do. But they are very smart when it comes to programming, when it comes to making stuff on the computer, and that's why we hired them as the programmer for the 2D game. And the 2D game is coming along great. We've got a lot of animations from different people, like we've got a lot of the game overs from Shiba, play the clip, and then some of the enemy AI from Margin. They look nice. But the thing with animation is it takes a very long time. So, you know, we've got Goo sitting around just waiting, because something like this boss game over with Midnight playing Puppeteer here, that takes a month. That one animation alone can take anywhere between 3 weeks to a month to finish, because it's a big animation, so it takes a while. And so, like, because it takes so long to make all the extra assets, you know, like all of the game over animations, the enemy animations, and all of the other animations, and then you've also got to add the backgrounds on top of that, the foregrounds that you'll be jumping on platforms. It takes a very long time, and during this time, Goo was getting quite bored. She was like, "Hey, look, this is taking too long. I'm just gonna make something 3D on the side because I can, literally just because I can." And like, it doesn't have to be anything big, it doesn't have to be anything major, even though like it has developed a little bit since, like, oh yeah, we'll just make something for now. you know, just to get that first game out, get the company off the ground, because like I have, if you don't know, if you're new here, I have like gone through all the registrations, registered it as a proper company, and when we sell it, it'll be like Bibsy Pop or any of the other independent creators. It will be sold as like actual product. It's not just a small one-man show where it's like, I made this and it's free on itch.io. No, we've got ourselves a proper company trademark. We've got ourselves a proper company logo, even though I'm not using it on this first video. But we got all of the stuff, and then like for the characters like Midnight and all of the other characters that you will see across the game, even though some are still currently processing, but each of the main characters is slowly getting their copyrights and their trademarks done. So like in this, there is more characters like the Anubian guards over there, and as more characters, you know, there's a whole section in here, and you can see, I mean, this is an old build, so some of these icons aren't correct, but as characters get trademarked, get updated, then I'll show more off. But yeah, so she was like, I'm going to make this because I'm bored. It takes so long for animations to be finished, and so it ended up that now 2 projects are being worked simultaneously. So we've got Goo that is doing 90% of the 3D game. She is making all of the models, she is doing all of the programming, and then we've got our art team working on the 2D game. And then by the time the 3D game is finished, you know, by the time that's like all done, ready to go, then most of the assets for the actual real game we want to make, the 2D game, should be done. And then it's just a case of putting it all together. And some of the 2D assets are going to make it into the 3D game as well. Like some of them, for example, one I will show you, back to outfits. This snake is a boss in the game. She is a boss in the game, and this is her boss portrait. So, you know, why make a brand new icon when this wasn't even supposed to be like a main game, when we can just use the boss portrait to basically use as the character that you can select. So yeah, you will be able to play as Snake Lady, but there is no Snake Lady model right now. So yeah, we are going to be using some of the actual main game, the real game, the 2D assets on the 3D game, and then it's just a case of when the 3D game's complete, by the time that reaches a state of completion, the 2D game should be like pretty much ready, or all the assets for the 2D game should be pretty much ready to go, and it'll just be a case of Goo grabbing all of the finished art and just putting it all together into the actual levels. And I think that does work out quite well in how it's turning out. Maybe the 2D game might take a little bit longer, because it obviously, one thing to note, I'm not a big YouTuber. I'm sure you can see that from my subscribers. I'm not a popular person, which again I'm sure that you can probably guess from the Patreon if you've walked over there. So 99% of this is all self-funded. There's no big YouTuber, hey guys, I'm doing a project and I'm getting like 10 grand a month to support all this. No, all of this is quite literally self-supported. It's all coming out of pocket, so to speak. So yeah, when the 3D game comes out, you know, I'm putting a lot on that one, because hopefully the 3D game is that launch point that allows us to just put the 2D game out. And that's why I'm saying, like, while once the 3D game's out, it will just be a case of Goo putting quite a lot of the 2D assets together, which was always the plan, or it's became the plan since she was just doing this 3D game. It is also a thing of, like, the 2D game still needs to have, like, the artist paid for, so, like, it might take a little while longer after the 3D game, but that's for the future. You know, there's a long way to go for the 2D game to be finished. So right now, as you've seen from my alt tabbing, we've been putting a lot into the 3D game. I've had our UI artist Flick do the Steam achievement icons, because we have actually got a Steam Workshop page where I've done all the achievements. We've got quite a lot that's been finished in the 3D game. So yeah, we've got Flick doing all of the UI, I'm doing all of the concept art, and it's coming along quite nicely. And so now it's time to like actually get into where we're currently up to in this Patreon video. So this is where we're going to kind of do the magical transitions, because I draw all the concept art, and it has been such an amazing thing to see the concept art change from a drawing to a Minecraft thing to an actual 3D rendered project, which it's just, to me, that's incredible. That is somewhat mind-blowing to me, how that's all came out, how that happened. You know, it's like a magic trick. I know it's just pure coding, pure science, pure modeling, and it's talented people. But to me, it's like magic. It's like, wow, this is, how did you do this fantastical, amazing feat? I do not understand. I do not know. So, you know, through the magic time, let's get on this tree, because we're gonna go on a journey over that way. And for everybody else, like, this cloud gone. This is gonna be disappeared from YouTube, but you'll see it in a minute. So right now we've got this 2D image on the screen. So this is one of the shops that we're making. I like the gem on top. This is our kind of mystery shop, because there's going to be, like, you know, your regular shops, and this is kind of like the mystery shop. It's got all the baubles, the trinkets, all those specialized items, and it's been fun watching it go from this drawing here, and then we go through the transition screen to over here. Wow, look at that! That looks good, doesn't it? You can still kind of make out the gem shape. You can kind of make out that the skeleton is burning to death, because I just switched it to daytime. Goodbye, Mr. Skeleton. But yeah, so to this, which is where we've been building the map. So, like, we've been using Minecraft as a reference point. So, like, the shop's gonna go here. You know, we've kind of worked out where each of the houses is gonna go, and this is kind of the plan, that we concept art it. Then we build it to a rough size in Minecraft. Like, it's gonna be about this big, which is about the length of these, which is about the size compared to that thing there, and as we pull ourselves upwards here, we get some pathways. You can see, like, the actual pathways of the play area, because there is going to be some invisible walls. You know, like, you will be able to see stuff off in the background. Like, I've got plans to just kind of like copy paste some houses out here and like the pyramid, but I'm using this red glass as kind of like a level border. So, like, yeah, you can kind of see the entire play area in Minecraft. You can see where all the roads are, where certain buildings are. The Oasis Pyramid, which is not finished yet, but, you know, you kind of got like a good idea of where everything is, where everything's going. And then, you know, through the miracle of time, let's get back here. This will be a nice transition, because this gem building is nearly done. So, like, we're gonna do a 3-part transition. So, like, yeah, so you got, like, the original, you know, transition, original concept art, transition Minecraft, transition, boom, look at that, see, that to me, going from that drawing to this, is fucking so cool. This shit's so cool to me, because it's like, dude, so something you drew is actually, like, fully visualized. I mean, it's obviously not completely textured. You can see, like, some things are all one solid color, but it's like, dude, just seeing, like, the skeletal structure is so cool to me. And like there will be a loading screen here. Obviously right now the loading screen is not programmed, so we can just go inside of it, but then I've kind of like started to draw the insides. Like, okay, so this is gonna go here, the counter's gonna go over there, and you know it's kind of gonna look where's the door? Well, you can't really see the door from this side. I think the door is here, but it's like, no wait, so that's the window, so this would be the door. So it's like, yeah, the counter would be here, so you got like the windows, so she can, the counter person can look out the windows and you see you as you're coming through the door itself. So it's like, I've already started drawing the insides, but to me, like, that is just so fucking cool. That's just so fucking cool to me to see, like, my drawing, like, just actually, like, in a 3D space. That blows my mind. I know it's just, like, normal programming, but to me, that blows my mind. That is absolutely amazing. But yeah, we've got a map. You know, some of these buildings do need their textures finished. You know, the first stage is just making them. So, you know, it's like this one, there's going to be like some stuff on these shelves. There's obviously going to be a person manning this booth. So it's just like building stuff, and you know, like let's do a transition again, because we've got like a basic bridge, which the middle part is textured, because that's one thing that you're going to see in these update videos. We're always going to be a build behind, because as you can see down there, this was made at the beginning of December, before everybody went on Christmas break, and Goo's been working across January, so like there is more to it. But like, let's just get this bridge and, you know, transition. Oh, look at that. Again, the bridge is not yet textured. We are going to go with this kind of Minecraft style mossy bricks, because it's obviously in the water. Like, I know that this bit is just this bit rotated, but it's going to be in the water, and no, you're not going to be able to Jeebus and walk on the water in the full version. This is just developer purposes, which a lot of stuff is, because if I bring up, I believe it's, where is it? I don't know how to bring it up. Is it inventory? Is it this? Yeah, like this. You know, I can activate all of the late game tools. I can pick what degree of tool, what metal of tool I want, and that's you know, I might have had a little bit of a spoiler there, but like yeah, I can pick whatever tool I need, and obviously as the modeling process goes on, we are using the walking on water to be able to be like, alright, let's get inside of these. Is this part textured? This part textured? What about like round the back here? So like, you know, in the full game you wouldn't be able to walk underwater. But yeah, that's where this map's up to. But I will say, like, even though this map, because we're a build behind, this map's only got this. That empty space over there is already been built. So just back to Minecraft, the actual cave system, there's going to have some of the ores in. So like, you can see our bridge here. This was where I was standing. This is part of the mountain. And this entire cave system with the chain fences, you have to like unlock each one. But this entire cave system is done, because it's just, you know, layered down. It's the same copy-paste structure over and over again, going all the way down. So this bit is actually done, but you won't see that till later, because we don't have that build, because we're always going to be a build behind. So that's also, I did hear a ding, so whoever is watching, whoever's here live, congratulations, you're getting a sneak peek at the video. Thank you very much. But yeah, so that's where we're up to in like the development. We've got the map here, we've got the map here, we've started to build like that thing there, there and there. So it's coming out quite nicely. Obviously, like they look better than the Minecraft versions. There is, as you saw from the gem building, there is actual like concept art. Like we're not just like, how am I going to how do I make block? Because like as you can see on the Minecraft one, there's no gems along the side, but if you look at that one over there, you can see the gems along the side because we've been working from like some actual concept art that's been drawn. So that's where we're up to. So that's development out of the way, and I'm gonna start moving back now because this is a full server. People do play on this server. Maybe I'll like have some people that are in the official Discord join this server as well. Because right now my friend Dragger, who's been sitting in the bottom left as like a pseudo watermark, has been using this server with her friends, as well as my personal friends. It's just kind of like everybody can come in, everybody can build what they want, and it's kind of like a time capsule now where a lot of this stuff, like my recreation of the Autumn Plains from Spyro 2, that was built in 2021, as was a lot of this early stuff around this port town, like Nucky's house here. This is all 2021, and some other people's houses are 2021, which you'll see as we move across this server as I just talk about some of the updated tiers, because there are updated tiers. The tiers are going to get slightly updated. So that's the developer news. That's what's been going on. We've now got 2 things on the go. And now, because I'm going to do these in video format rather than just a bunch of text, because like, let's face it, nobody's reading all that text. I feel like that was also one problem. Because now, like, if I say, oh my god, guys, look at this village that I updated. This is like the spawn village. This is where you spawn in, and you've got like a little community crafting area. It'll make you, you know, alt tab back in. It'll make you look. You might want to see how the spawn village looks. Like, oh yeah, that looks good. And like when I say, oh, I'm transitioning to this, I'm transitioning to that, you obviously can alt tab back in. But now, as I'm just like flying over the bridge that actually leads to 0, which is where I've set the spawn, you can just alt tab back out. You can be doing your own drawings, your own programming, whatever you're doing. I hope you're having fun with whatever you're doing while you're listening to this. This is now back to podcast style. This is just the listening phase while I get back to that village, just to kind of like build up that other village. But if you're interested in like seeing stuff on the server, you can. But that's the update phase. And as I say, now that it's more video format, I feel like a lot more people might watch. And it'll be split into 2 parts. It'll be quick updates where it's like, hey guys, we did a thing, here's the thing, video over, and that will be for everybody. Like this first newsletter, gonna be for everybody. But then like all of the subsequent newsletters are going to be unlisted, and they're going to be like on Patreon. So if you want to see like the bigger updates at the end of the month / beginning of the month, you know, usually like the 1st to the 3rd, depending on how much I might need to edit, then you know you have to go over there now. This one, first hit's free, kids. First hit's free. But so that's the updates. But then let's talk about the tiers, because some of the tiers are to do with the 2D game. So some of the rewards are changing. All the lower rewards will be staying the same. A single $1, your name is going to be in the credits of the 3D one. Whether it's the 2D or the 3D, you're still supporting me. You're still going to have your name in the credits. Same with the $2, same with the 5, and the 5 also gets you access to these newsletters, the Patreon newsletters. Maybe this Minecraft server might become a part of the Patreon rewards. I'm not too sure about the Minecraft server. That just might be public. Anybody that's in the Discord could just potentially get in here. As long as you're screened, because it does have a whitelist. I will need to whitelist you, but you know, that's whatever. It's more the 25 and above. So on the 25 and above, I was saying about you can get a piece of art and you can have your character in the background. So like in one of the backgrounds, like just say it's ruins, for example. You're like deep underground in the ruins. Hey, you know what? I think we've got a mine shaft over here, so this is perfect. And I'll time set it day actually. Time sunset day, just for a little bit of context, and I'll even slurp a night vision just to make it visible, to make it not look like you're looking at garbage. But yeah, so it's like, just say you're down here, you're underground, you're in the ruins, and like this is actually perfect because this is like a straight hallway. So just pretend it's 2D and you're looking at this back wall. You'd have all the hieroglyphics, all of the you know, pillars and all the other stuff that you genuinely find underground. You'd be jumping around, but then, oh, look at this. There's you in the background. Like, whether you're on a hieroglyphic pillar or whether it's like a statue of you, you know, like you've been frozen in time, like that Star Wars Han Solo in Carbonite. And it'd only be a small thing, but it's like, hey, look, I'm walking, you're seeing all the normal stuff, and oh, there he is, look, there he is, guys. But for everybody else, it might just look like part of the background. Like, if you're specifically looking for it, then you'll be like, look at it, guys. But if it was like a speedrunner, or, you know, just a casual player, it's like, nice background, nice background, nice background. They you know, they might see it, but it's nothing that'd draw attention to yourself. And a lot of the rewards are like that. The 25 and up are like that, where it's like, oh, you can have your character in the background. You can have your character on like a little portrait in the castle. So like, you know, the Hollow Knight thing, where it's like, hey guys, we're in the castle now, and like we got you know, portrait, and it'd be like the characters in the game, you know. Portrait of Midnight, Portrait of Midnight, Portrait of Aplistia, you, Portrait of Midnight, Portrait of Midnight. So like, as you're going through the things, it's like, yeah, just all portraits. And again, if you see it, you'd admire it, but like most people wouldn't notice it. And all of this was for the 2D game. And I'm not going to take that away, because I know that there is one person that has taken interest in potentially having a higher tier, having something in the game. And I'm not going to take that away. So if you do want those 2D rewards, you can do a one-time thing, because I'm not going to say constantly 250, because that's fucking ridiculous. But it's like, if you want these things in the 2D game, I will say yes, you can have these things in the 2D game, but that will be coming second. So what I'm going to be doing now, once this video goes up, is you're going to see some slight changes to some of the rewards to do with the 3D game. So it's like, if from February 3rd, which is when this video is going to go up, from February, I might say the 4th, because it might take a day for me to edit, but from February, there's going to be new rewards to do with the 3D game. And I don't know what those rewards are yet. I'll have to base it on like, hey, what is the value proposition of the reward versus the amount of work that Goo would have to do versus like how much the reward would actually cost. But you're going to have two versions of the rewards now. So you're going to have the 3D reward and the 2D reward. The 3D one will come first, and then the 2D one will come second. Or if you just want it in one, then you can just tell me it's in one, because obviously when you do it, I'll be in contact with you. So like, just say you went for the 25, which I believe was just a picture in the background. I'll contact you and say, hey, so do you want a picture in the background? Do you want I don't know, just say like a trinket in the 3D game, just like I can't even get trinkets in Minecraft, can I? Like skull. So something like this. This is fine. So it's like, hey, do you want just the 2D game? Do you want just a picture in the background, or do you want like something like that? Just a little skull, a little tiny 3D thing in the 3D game. Do you want one? Do you want the other? Or do you want them both? Like, so there will be some revamps to the rewards to both have 2D and 3D. But 3D will be first. So yeah. And I'd say that is probably about it. You know, we've gone over the intro, we've gone over this game versus this game and how it's progressing, and we've just kind of informed you of the updated rewards. So I don't think for this month there is much else to go over, but I'm thinking that that's about it. So if that is about it, we'll wrap up here, we'll adjourn here, and we'll say thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing if you are subscribed on the Patreon, very much appreciate it, thank you. Oh, and you know what, one last thing, you know what, I'll leave a question of the day. Who if you are playing it, who are you playing in Rivals? Who have you resonated with in Rivals? Because I did talk about it and I never said, but my resonation comes with the thick Squirrel Girl. I resonate well with Squirrel Girl. She is like Junkrat, and I like having no aim. I like being no brain, no aim. It makes it easy. But no, I mean, if you bounce the bombs, if you know that somebody's round the corner, and you know how to angle the bombs correctly, she does go from no aim to being an absolute public menace, but I resonate with the thick squirrel, I resonate with Tippy Toe, as well as the shark. So, you know, just all four. My damage, best damage, Squirrel Girl. Best healer, Jeff. Best, what is it? There's 4 classes. Or is there only 3? There's Vanguard, isn't there? Well, it's main damage. I'd say support, like your Junkrat is 1 damage, but then you've got your main damage, which is Hela, which is the one that I use. But best support, Squirrel Girl. Best healer, Jeff. Best main damage for me, Hela. I can use Hela quite well. And best tank, I mean, I want to learn Venom, but like Venom's just not in a good place right now. So I'd say my best tank is definitely Penny. But yeah, so who's your mains? Who's your favourites if you are playing the game? But for now, that's it. I'm gonna go, and I'll see all of you in the next update, which is probably gonna be about the caves when Goo sends me the build today. So see you all then.